There's a certain kind of energy that unfolds when a polarizing figure like Jeremy Clarkson takes center stage, unpredictable, raw, and absolutely gripping. Combine that with a live protest setting and a probing BBC reporter, and you've got the recipe for a cultural earthquake that the world just can't stop talking about. But wait, why is Ray Dalio's name circling this whirlwind of controversy? You're about to find out. The scene, a tense protest outside the headquarters of a major corporation. Crowds with signs, shouting voices, and, amidst the chaos, Jeremy Clarkson, yes, the outspoken ex-Top Gear host who never shies away from saying exactly what's on his mind. While the protest itself centers on economic disparity, climate action, and corporate responsibility, Clarkson is there for his own reasons, and true to form, he becomes the story. Enter the BBC reporter. Mic in hand, this journalist approaches Clarkson with what seems like a calculated move, a loaded question about the hypocrisy of wealthy public figures attending protests. "Aren't you part of the very elite these people are fighting against?" she asks, clearly expecting Clarkson to stumble. But what follows isn't just a response, it's a takedown. Clarkson leans into the mic with his signature blend of sarcasm and unapologetic bravado. "Ah, the BBC, lecturing us on hypocrisy. Remind me, how's your carbon footprint with all those overseas bureaus and private jets? Or does sanctimony offset emissions these days?" His words land like a thunderclap, and the crowd roars in approval. The reporter, momentarily taken aback, presses further, trying to regain control. But Clarkson, emboldened by the crowd, doesn't let up. And here's where it gets interesting. As the verbal sparring escalates, Clarkson name-drops Ray Dalio, billionaire investor and author of Principles, as an example of how wealth and social influence can be wielded responsibly, or not, depending on your perspective. Clarkson argues that figures like Dalio prove that financial success and societal contribution aren't mutually exclusive, contrasting that with what he sees as the empty virtue signaling of some media outlets. Dalio's principles, radical transparency, meritocracy, and the pursuit of meaningful work, suddenly take on new relevance in this fiery debate. Clarkson suggests that instead of tearing down the wealthy, society should focus on holding all influential figures accountable, regardless of their field. It's a compelling argument, but it's not without its critics. The protest, initially focused on corporate policies, shifts as onlookers latch onto this explosive confrontation. Social media erupts with hot takes, memes, and debates. Is Clarkson a hero for calling out hypocrisy, or is he deflecting from his own privileged position? And why invoke Dalio? Here's the twist: Dalio himself is no stranger to controversy. Known for his pragmatic yet often polarizing philosophies, he's been both praised and criticized for his views on capitalism and societal structure. By bringing him into the conversation, Clarkson inadvertently ignites a larger discussion about the roles of wealth, power, and accountability in our fractured world. And the BBC reporter? She holds her ground, pushing back with stats and sharp retorts. But the damage is done. Clarkson's unfiltered style has captivated the crowd, dominating headlines and sparking an online frenzy. Love him or hate him, he knows how to turn a moment into a movement. This clash is more than just entertainment, it's a snapshot of the tensions defining our times. From environmental protests to debates about wealth and influence, we're living in an era where lines are blurred, and everyone has an opinion. Clarkson's fiery exchange reminds us that no one is untouchable, not even the media giants, the billionaires, or the loudest voices in the room. As the dust settles, the world is left with questions. Where do we draw the line between accountability and scapegoating? How do we reconcile personal responsibility with systemic issues? And most importantly, how do we move forward in a world so divided? This story is far from over. So, what do you think? Is Jeremy Clarkson a truth-teller who exposed hypocrisy, or did he just dodge accountability with flair? Let us know in the comments below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the moments that matter.